When you said that someone like that is mentally strong, then what is the point of using EPO? What is the point of going to that level? Like, that's what I don't understand. If you are that guy, what is the point?
He's a dog. He'll work himself to the ground. His body was just breaking down, and he wasn't repairing and having the same strength and spunk and the same drive that he had for his training sessions at 135. And I noticed a little bit of it, but not as much as maybe I should have. Maybe I had some blinders on, because I would fly out there and train him 3 days a week and then be back home 4 days a week. So I was there literally less than half the time. So our sessions were pretty good, and I'm thinking he had more breakdown sessions in the wrestling and the strength conditioning rather than the boxing and kickboxing sessions that we were doing, even though our sessions are completely mixed with mixed martial arts. But, if he tells me, or if he's telling the media his body was breaking down, I believe him. And he was taking it. I don't think he took it to have an end on anybody as much as I believe he took it just to get back to homeostasis and be where he was at 135 mentally and physically. So he just put himself into the dirt. I mean, I'm sure I have too. Most fighters have, trained themselves to the detriment, and that's TJ. He doesn't know when to stop.
Yeah,
especially at that level. He's making, I don't know what he was making, $1 million, whatever it was. You have $1 million fight coming up, and you're a little bit tired, but you still have training coming up, or your coach is flying out here from another state and leaving his family and his business to come train you. Are you going to give me half-ass work ethic? I hope not. I want 100%, because I'm leaving my family and my business to come help you. Don't give me 50%. I want 100%. So I think part of that too could have been me pushing him too hard. I'll have to take some responsibility on that.
Yeah, I feel like when you're talking about those type of things, the most common thing to fix those type of things when you are feeling run down, when you feel like your body's breaking down, is called rest. Yeah. And then that comes from a trainer's point of view. And if you're not there, and I've been there plenty of times where I've just done too much, and Javier's been like, hey, you know what? You need to just take today off, and maybe even tomorrow. Yeah. Talk to you tomorrow. We'll come in. We'll try to get a work in. But if you're not there, like you were saying, you're not there 7 days a week. You're not there. You're only there 3 days a week. I can understand as the head coach not being able to see this all come, happen right in front of you.
Yeah.
I think everyone's going to put the responsibility on TJ because it was TJ's choice, and TJ's a grown man and he made the decision to do it. But for me, I want to make sure that people I don't want you to leave this show thinking that I didn't ask you the hard questions. And I'm going to ask you the hard questions because that's what people, they want to know. They want to know what the inside scoop is on what did you know? What did you not know? And also, this is the one thing as a coach, what went through your mind when you found out about this?
So, TJ texted me, and it was a long text, and it was, I think, the day before or a couple of days before the news broke. He never told me personally or I didn't know it was going on.
Yeah.
But he sent me a text like a day or two before the news broke, and I was like, oh, like what the hell? I was It was shocking. But then when we talked, he told me, I felt bad, man. I felt bad because he was honest and he was crying. And I started crying. I was like, shit, man. Like, I understand, I see where you're at because you're making whatever he's making high double, the money aside, his family aside, the titles, the fans, he's got a commitment. He's got a role to fulfill. And if he's not performing at the level that he's used to performing with the weight cut and the new, I shouldn't say new, it was a new training regimen because he's done some different strength conditioning and nutrition and stuff. So he had to do what he felt he had to do to perform at the level that he's used to. So I wasn't in his shoes. I never made those big dollars. I never made that big money in fighting. I was never the UFC champion, although I did beat the UFC champion outside the UFC. But
Jens Pulver, we got that. Okay, it's all right.
UFC title. That bugs me. I wish fucking Jens would have brought the title to Canada. I've never been in that position to make the money he was making and to be the number one fighter in the world and to have that pressure. I mean, that had to have been some crazy pressure. Well, Josh, you've reached higher levels of mixed martial arts than I have. What was the pressure to perform? How about when you rematched Gilbert Melendez? Like, what was that pressure like? How did you handle it?
Take this with a grain of salt, but the pressure,
not very well. Let's be honest. Okay, let's just look at it that way. Okay,
put it this way, though. But to take this with a grain of salt, okay, the pressure was never enough to make me want to cheat. Yeah. I'm not trying to knock TJ. I'm not trying to drive it into him. I'm just simply being honest. At the end of the day, it was never in me to do that. And I understand the breakdowns. I do get it.
Yeah.
I do get it. But I think I don't even know about previous. I'm just simply saying that he put a lot of pressure on himself to make 125. And when you do that, that is something that he did to himself. He asked for it. He wanted, and I get it. The legacy is there. I mean, and to beat Henry Cejudo after he had beat DJ, and DJ was the guy. Basically, everyone thinks that he still potentially is the pound for pound, probably the best fighter in the world. You know, just because he's not in the UFC doesn't take away from what he's doing. Right. He still probably is the pound for pound best fighter in the world.
Agreed.
So TJ put that stress and that pressure on himself. I'm a huge TJ fan when it comes to watching him fight and seeing him perform and what you've done with him. I am all for it. When you ask me that question, I got to be honest with you and be straight with you. And I'm not trying to be an asshole or a dick, but that's the bottom line. The pressure to fight Gil or anybody else I fought never got me to that pressure.
100% agree. Look,